If you do not confront that fear of being authentic, then you will lose yourself. And then the society will put any kind of label on you. They will push you around. And you are standing there without any authenticity, with any purpose, without any passion, with any resilience, any genuine relationships. And this is not what I want for you. You need to realize that the biggest stress that you can do to yourself is to be someone you do not want to be. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will talk with you about how you can live your authentic life without any social pressure. Carl Jung, the founder of psychoanalysis, once said, "The world will ask you who you are. If you don't know, the world will tell you." It means if you lack a deep understanding of your true identity and what your motivations are in life, the world will put labels on you. So do you know what happens when you don't know your true value, your own authentic desire? You are more likely to conforming to deal with societal expectations and societal norms. Why is that? Society at large will have expectations. They are ready to put judgments on you, labels, and especially for those who haven't taken a deep understanding to explore themselves. And this is why I make this video for you, so you can do your self-discovery. See, when I was younger, I always loved art, I loved music, I loved anything that was quite handy. So I even wanted to become a hairdresser because I love to work with people in general. I just thought this was something where I can put an actual impact to the world, where I can create something, right? I was often very indecisive and I didn't really know what to pursue in my career. Many times people told me, okay, if you do art or music, it doesn't bring any income. As a hairdresser, you are a so-called blue-collar worker. And many authorities told me, okay, if you go to business school, you learn something for your life, you make good money, it's very useful, etc. I really didn't enjoy it. I'm just saying, the earlier you start with the self-discovery of your authentic self, what you want out of life, the more progress you can do, the older you are becoming. Some people might take 5 years to really understand what they want out of life. Some people might take 10 years. Some people are 55 or even older when they find a true passion. It's always easier for you. I don't say it's better, but it's easier for you if you started earlier, because we live in a linear world, and within that you have a limited amount of time until you die. This is just a true fact. You really need to ask yourself, what do you want? If you think about it, like in every day you get a question from your parents, colleagues, from friends, and you are always ready in a rush to provide answers. So why don't you do yourself a favor and ask yourself, what do you want instead? I usually find a quiet space where I can do some reflection and some journaling. Journaling really helps in this exercise. I write down answers to these following questions. What does my ideal day look like? What unique qualities do I have? What kind of feedback do I get back from my friends? What does true living mean to me? Taking money out of equation, what is my dream career? What can I do to make the world a better place? And lastly, how do I want to be remembered by my grandchildren? How do you want to be remembered by the next generations? What's your imprint on this earth during your lifetime? If you want to live authentic, you need to embrace self-acceptance and inner peace. And this also includes you see your imperfections as they are, as well as your strengths. If you truly accept yourself as who you are, don't feel the need to pretend to the outer world or to conform to societal expectations, because you have found your inner peace and you don't need to ask XYZ, okay, what do you think about what I'm doing? So you see, when I was younger, I tried so hard to fit in. My parents were the first generation of immigrants in Germany, and when people talked about how they visited their grandparents regularly, every summer vacation or any vacation they had, I always had the wish that I was born where my ethnicity was from, because I was so looking for this kind of connection, my ancestry with my family. And also I always felt like I have to justify why I do not look German, even though I felt pretty much German. But only later on I realized how much of a bless it was to grow up with two different cultures, to really understand values, differences, and how to negotiate around it when you're becoming older, especially when you interact with so many different people from so many different countries. So if you ever find yourself in an environment where you feel you have to pretend in order to be accepted, then I would recommend you to reassess your environment where you're in. The people who accept you as you are, as in your identity, your past, and your true values. And I'm not talking about like they have to accept those kind of things as in personality trait or like flaws or whatever, because it's really important to have friends who wants you to grow. You can only grow if you receive constructive feedbacks, and that friends are pointing those things out to you, because you need to have someone who's putting a mirror in front of you, if you know what I mean. So I'm just saying it's very important to have those kind of friends, but not friends where you feel, okay, you have to please them in a certain way. You can't really talk about how you feel. You can't be vulnerable in front of them, otherwise you risk of them making fun of you, because these are not your friends. So ask yourself, do the people in your environment bring you enough peace? And not only friends, but also family, colleagues, or whatever. Do they bring enough peace in your life and encourage you to grow? You know, I saw this other day, the documentary of Jonah Hill with his therapist, Phil Stutz. And Phil Stutz was speaking about radical acceptance. And radical acceptance means to create a reflex of finding meaningful in your current situation and ask yourself, what am I gonna do about this right now? No matter how the situation looks like. So by doing so, you embrace your reality, you accept your reality as it is. You don't feel shame about it. You just accept it and you move forward with the tools that you have, with the experience you're having, with the knowledge that you have, with the people that you have, with all the resources around it. If you have this radical self-acceptance, you can cultivate more self-compassion, self-acceptance. It's lighter to move forward, because otherwise you really feel stuck and you feel shame about what has happened in your past, of who you were, of circumstances, of people you were encountering with. And this is not what it should be. Another part is also inner peace can be found in meditation. So if you meditate, your brain and your heart will be in sync, and you try to get your brain into a beta wave. You learn how to regulate and slow your brain down. So when your brain starts to relax, you can see more in pictures, the bigger picture of zooming out. And once your brain is moving into the alpha state, it is in the operating system. And within this operating system, you can rewire your brain and rewrite the script as you want by telling yourself how you want your life to be. By having this new script, you change your behavior. It can sync with your reality. You can live a more peaceful life. So once you accept your reality, you need to find fulfillment and passion. Some of you have the freedom to pursue what resonates with you and what your heart desires. If you're not sick, if you have a roof over your head, if you have enough food, if you have internet, you need to take the chance, go within yourself and see, what do I want? Because if you follow your passion, be it like art, any projects that you always wanted to start, music, anything you want to create, you will be in a higher frequency. Being in that frequency, you have the energy to create more positive experiences. At the same time, you also will break free from self-limiting beliefs and self-imposed limitations. As you heard it right, limitations are self-imposed, because you are receptive to other people telling you what the limit is, because you lack the understanding of what you want. Therefore, you take the understanding of the limits of life from other people. And this is not what you want. So if you pursue your own passion, you also show the world that societal expectations, they do not matter that much. It doesn't do anything to you, because you so focus on your own thing that you want to pursue that you blend out anything else that is on the left and the right, because you have your focus and no one can impose their self-limiting beliefs onto you. If you have passion, it also encourages you to step out of the comfort zone. So you see, it took me several times to start my YouTube channel, but what helped me is that I talk to friends, I talk to people, but I choose really wisely with who I'm talking about, what I want to do. So I just chose certain kind of people where I know they are stepping out of their comfort zone constantly. So it's really important that you know, first of all, these kind of people, and secondly, if that helps for you, you got to share it with them, because you know that they know how hard it is. You know that they know it is possible if you just be disciplined about it, and if you step out of your comfort zone no matter what kind of judgment you might face. You know, I heard about like a short story on a podcast, and it was about someone who went the first time to the gym. When he entered the room, he said, I'm gonna be the fittest guy in this room one day. And he didn't look fit at all. He was like the complete opposite of it. So everyone in the room, people trained really hard, laughing at him, except this one guy who was the fittest guy in the room. He knew it was possible because he was where the new guy was. And he knew it is possible because he is there where he's standing. So you need to talk to people who have done impossible things so you can do the impossible things yourself. If you don't know where to start, to know what your passion is, try new hobbies, attend to workshops, talk to people, read books, surround yourself by a good environment. By a good environment, I mean inspiring people. Go to meetups. You know, there's this rule and it says, if you have an idea, you should start this idea within 72 hours. You don't start this idea within the 72 hours, the chance of it will reduce below 5% after the 72 hours. And if you have started this idea, then stick to it at least for 66 days. Most of you probably have like a full-time job. If you don't want to throw that full-time job away, then just give this idea a trial. Give it 66 days and start with it right after you have this idea. Give it a trial and see after 66 days where it leads you to. If it's not yours, then throw it away. It was just a trial anyways. You are not committed, but at least you do something about it. If you are authentic, you foster automatically genuine relationships with others. People will appreciate and accept you for the way you are. In an authentic relationship, you feel you can be vulnerable to each other. You communicate honestly. You nurture relationships based on trust, mutual respect, and understanding. You see, the older I became, I'm very selective with my friends. Friends that I consider as close friends and where I know I can be very vulnerable to them. It's very essential that you can also share problems to your friends, family. But there's a difference if you share the problem once or twice, or if you share the same problem 20 times. It's just sucking the energy out of you because you want to see the person grow, but instead of like that you lifting up the person is pulling you down. And this also can refer to relationships that you're having. If someone is only nagging and talking negatively, but talking about views, if someone is telling you your views are wrong and you need to have the self views as they have, you gotta run. You don't stick with these kind of people and don't let them impose their self-limiting beliefs onto you just because they don't know it differently. And maybe they don't even do it on purpose, but it doesn't matter. At the end is that you just need to create the distance to these kind of people because otherwise they will pull you down and you don't want that. You want to go further in life. No genuine relationships are characterized by uplifting each other, by communicating honestly, by being vulnerable to each other if you have to be, and encourage each other to grow and be better. Also show kindness to each other, have respect for each other. If you want to live authentically, you need to develop inner strength and resilience. You know, we can even create neural pathways in our brain by just focusing on positive thoughts and experiences whenever we face adversity in our lives. But this also includes that you need to face changes. You need to face uncertainty. You need to face situations that are just not comfortable all the time. So go out of your comfort zone. If you do so, you can be also more adaptable to life, whatever is coming to you. You can just stand up again, move forward, try to face everything with a positive mindset, no matter how hard things are getting. You know, when I grew up, I always wished, okay, I would have more money, I would like to see more things, I would like to experience more things, go to places. And when I grew up, I often faced emotional abuse by authorities as well as by relationships that I went through. But I deeply refused to set myself to failure. Because in those times, whenever I think back, when it felt almost so hard, impossible, that you feel like it's impossible to survive because it's just so much for your body emotionally wise, you need to turn into yourself and really try to search for the light. You know what I'm saying? Search for the light when there is only darkness. What I did is that I cultivated a daily mindfulness and meditation practice, which helped me to stand centered whenever I face challenges. Those things has really allowed me to work on myself, tap into my inner resilience, and move forward also with strength and with more hope. It's so important that you have hope in life whenever things are not going well. So I want you to write down, what are the things that trigger you? What do you think it could come from? Mostly it's things from the past, like traumas we have experienced, and they really reflect into who we are today, but sometimes we are not really aware of it. So we get easily triggered by situations, by people, but you want to be more resilient in life, so you need to work with that before you can move on. So honey, listen, I know it's really hard to work towards being more authentic, because we have been taught since our childhood that if we are our true self, the world would not accept us as we are. But if you do not confront that fear of being authentic, then you will lose yourself. And then the society will put any kind of label on you. They will push you around. And you are standing there without any authenticity, with any purpose, without any passion, with any resilience, any genuine relationships. And this is not what I want for you. You need to realize that the biggest stress that you can do to yourself is to be someone you do not want to be. This is very stressful. And yes, there's always this inner voice that says, okay, if I'm not my authentic self, then I'm not good enough. You need to know it's an automatic response, because this is what we have been trained since we can walk, since we can comprehend things around us. And this behavior is still there. It takes time. I want you to take that time as well to be patient with yourself while you're doing your self-discovery. We need to be more authentic to be more healthy. But even our intellects can't support us to change. It really requires a lot of time. Knowing is one thing, but really truly walking the path is the next step. And this is the hard work. So honey, never stop believing in yourself. If you don't know where to start, ask yourself, when in my life did I feel the most authentic and true to myself? I believe in you. Stay true to yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.